All right. We might be live. I think we're live. It is Sunday, and it is an art day. And we are still working on the husband's Christmas present. It's been kind of hectic here, so I haven't been able to get a whole lot done. But I think our body width is pretty good now, and I'm just doing another finishing out, like ribbing the bottom underneath. We're using polyfill as our base here, because that was a lot cheaper than a bunch of roving, and I didn't feel like dicking around with the armature wire this time. That was actually a little bit more frustrating and way more time consuming, because then I had to wrap the armature wire, and it felt like that took me way longer than I really wanted it to. So I decided to skip that step and just do a compressed needle felted polyfill goodness center. So we will see how this turns out. So I do have a recorded session, maybe. I haven't posted it yet. Actually, I've been so busy I haven't posted anything to YouTube the past few days. I really need to get on that. Momo's been extra needy. We think he might have hurt his back again. Minor compared to the last time, but he's been very upsetted lately. So he's been needing a bit of extra attention. So I haven't gotten done as much stuff as I want to. I'm in the middle of needle felting. I'm in the middle of editing the speed paint on the chicken. That's taking a lot longer than I originally thought it would, because I decided to do the whole thing, so that's kind of my hairbrand idea. Let's see. We have a flamingo covered in yarn emote now. I'm not sure if anybody had seen that one yet. Curious to see if Stream Elements is going to be joining us today. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It joined the stream last night real super quick. I'm loaded into it too. But it seems like today it might be mad at us. I guess we'll see what happens there. Alright, so as soon as I get this ribbing done on the bottom, we will start trying to make even-sized limbs, which is probably going to be easier said than done. More than likely. Some of my yarn finally decided to ship. Well, it says it's ready to ship. I think they've notified FedEx that it's ready to go, as it says it's awaiting pickup. No idea if that's actually going to leave today or not. It's apparently currently in Joplin, Missouri. Not that far from here. So it will be interesting to see. It's what, maybe 6-7 hour drive? I think it's like a 2.5 hour drive to Springfield, Missouri. So probably like a maybe 6 hour drive, maybe not even. Might be closer to 4. So we will see. Because I'm sure it has to go from there to a distribution center, and then from the distribution center there to a distribution center here. And I think the FedEx distribution center here might be in Lowell, which is probably about an hour from here, maybe. Maybe. Okay. So we have to figure out limb placements. We're gonna need 2 back legs and 2 front legs. Fortunately, this creature in my head does not have more than 2 legs, or more than 4 legs rather. We're not gonna do some like Mary Blair shit with like a 5-legged goat. Although maybe we could start a trend of making a 3-legged flamingo. There's an idea. Alright, so this, it's not giving us a whole lot of texture, but it's filling it. Ah, that was my finger. Right, that side is not as thick. Noted. The center is very thick. That particular spot, that's where it went through, is not. Remember, keep your fingers out of the way. Oh, right. Nah, we didn't do any damage. We're good. Alright, I actually wanted to start a little bit sooner today because we've got a lot of ground to cover. It didn't work out that way though. We're having pizza for dinner, so I had to get that dough started, and I was a little slow getting going. Momo just wouldn't, he wouldn't go on his potty pad for some reason. He wanted to go outside. So he kept laying there doing the potty gur, and I'm like, dude, you never are this anal about it. You usually go on the potty pad. I don't think they like these potty pads. I think they changed something in it. They do not like these new ones. Zuzu kind of slipped on one of them, and I wonder if Momo did too. Excuse me. Alright. So this is going to be the end where our tail's going to connect. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. And that you're doing what you need to hang in there. That's still a little fluffy. We're not quite as attached as I want us to be right there. Okay, maybe Stream Elements will join us when it hits the original stream time. I'm kind of surprised it didn't, though. Try refreshing it. It should be in there. Let me see. And technically they're in the chat, so Stream Elements is a fickle bot. Kofi bot's pretty reliable though. I need to tweak some of the settings on my MooBot. I didn't want MooBot to be too annoying, so I set the timers up a little bit further apart from each other, and I forgot I have a bunch of lurkers, so the bots aren't gonna go off at the settings I have them on. Well, Kofi bot, I can't. Kofi bot's either on or off, and it's like an automatic 30 minutes. I can't adjust that. Now, if I had a Kofi membership, I don't know if I could, but with the free version, it doesn't seem to have an option to adjust it. I feel like I'm holding a piece of French bread pizza. Definitely heavier than a piece of French bread pizza. Maybe I'm just really, really fucking hungry. I really wanted pizza last night, but we weren't able to. Like, I almost did pizza last night instead of chicken nuggets, but the chicken nuggets were a lot faster, and we thought the Atlantic City stuff in Fallout was going to take a lot longer than it did. Like, I was thinking it was going to be, like, an area of the map that you could just go to, not that you had to get there through, like, a scenario setting, and I'm like, okay. And it really didn't feel like the Atlantic City that we've seen, like...
That we saw regularly, that we practically lived next to?
Yeah, like, nothing about it screamed Atlantic City. It could have been any coastal town, to be perfectly honest. From the 50s or whatever time frame, 40s that's supposed to be from. It was rather disappointing. Like, I thought it was going to be like some quest chains and stuff. No. It was 2 like dungeon scenarios. That was it. So that was really kind of meh. Like, it felt like they talked it up more than it should have been. Like, that didn't need, like, all this fucking lead up to it. Like, because we had been seeing it being talked about for a couple of months, and I'm like, okay. I mean, it definitely felt like a Fallout thing, but... I mean, White Springs has more personality than that. Like, White Springs, you know, you think of the golf course and the hotel and stuff. It's like, oh yeah, White Springs. You could kind of look around if like the scenario was over or something, or before you started it, maybe. But I don't know, it just didn't feel right. I mean, yeah, there was some amusements on the one section of a boardwalk that you could see. I don't know if you could get in there to where they were. It was kind of a blur with all of the timers and stuff running. But, I mean, that could have been Ocean City. Maryland or New Jersey, take your pick, because there's 2 of them. I mean, it could have been anywhere. I was almost getting more West Coast vibes than I was Atlantic City vibes. We only saw, what, the one casino? That felt kind of weird. I don't know. I think my expectations probably just got a little too high for it. So hope everybody's doing okay. Alright, so this will probably, like, change its shape a little bit on the underside as we go. Alright, so we need one more bit after this one. So, we had our town Christmas parade last night. We didn't go. I can't handle that noise. It's bad enough when we're forced to endure it when the one parade goes by our house for the craft fair Labor Day weekend. But, like, we could hear all of the emergency vehicles beeping their horns and stuff, and that was kind of obnoxious. And we had all the windows closed, and I'm like, oh my god. And they did some kind of stupid cocoa crawl before the parade where different businesses were offering different flavors of cocoa, and apparently there was some vendors and stuff. Well, after the parade was over and we finished doing the Atlantic City stuff, it was a short stream last night. We went for our walk real quick, and on our walking route it takes us down through part of the parade route. So much trash. A ridiculous amount of trash just laying everywhere. There was several trash cans on the street that are always there. I think only one of them was full. There was the little paper cones from, like, the cotton candy sticks. You know, like the little paper doodles that they put the cotton candy on when they spin it in front of you. I'd rather have my cotton candy in a bag, but I think it's too messy on the paper cone. It's more likely to fall off, but that's just me. So there was those stupid paper things everywhere. There was styrofoam cups, there was paper cups, there was little tiny mini sample paper cups in the gutter. There was just cups that still had hot chocolate or coffee in them from the cocoa crawl just sitting around in front of various businesses on the sidewalk where people had been sitting. Like a full styrofoam cup of what felt like water and a straw. Maybe it was a soda, I don't know. And that was just sitting there. I'm like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And candy wrappers everywhere. In the gutter, on the sidewalk. Crushed candy canes, like the little mini guys that you would get. Like in like a 300 box of like the little tiny mini doodles. It looked like they might have been throwing them from the fucking parade floats. All in the street and crushed down. The plastic was everywhere. I was just like, oh my god. What the fuck? I was so upset. Because our walking path last night took us through not the entire parade route, but a good amount of it. And then there was candy that was just laying in the street along the sidewalk that nobody picked up. It looks like packages of Smarties that exploded, and then the plastic wrappers are laying there, and I'm like, really? The town bitches about people flushing those flushable wipes and stuff because it fucks up the water treatment system and clogs it and backs it up and damages it. And oh, it cost us $30,000 in damages. The one set of time they like made a big deal about it and posted on their Facebook page about don't flush these things. We don't care that they say they're flushable. It's damaging our water treatment system. And I'm like, well, maybe you need a better water treatment system because it says they're flushable on there, and I don't know why. If they weren't really flushable, like maybe your water treatment system is the thing that's the problem. I don't see anybody else bitching about this because if it was that big of a problem, you'd think that they would be on these companies. Your thing is not really flushable. But so much trash. I was so upset. I'm like, look at this. There are all kinds of candy in the gutter and in the drainage system, so you know the next time it rains, because nobody's going to come back and clean it up. We know from past experience that nobody's going to come back and clean it up from the clothesline fair parade, where we're finding candy in the grass for weeks. we went home and we got a broom and our dustpan and a trash bag and came back and started picking up shit off the road in the dark with my flashlight, and I'm like, why? You know, this town wants to do this shit, then they need to have people appointed to follow the end of the parade route and gather the trash, because all this plastic's gonna end up in the drainage system, and that's gonna fuck up the water treatment shit. Oh, so infuriating. Like, if you go to these events and you get something to eat, or you pick up, you know, candy and you're eating candy while it's being thrown, don't just throw your shit on the ground. Don't just leave your cups and shit. Either take it with you or look for a fucking trash can, you animals. Like, what the hell? And it wasn't like just in front of businesses that this went through. It went like past people's homes, and they have pets, and there was like chocolate and shit thrown in their grass and stuff. And I'm like, was anybody even standing here for them to throw candy at? Because I've seen people off of these floats just throw candy when nobody's standing there. I'm like, really? We had a heavy full bag of trash by the time we got home. I left 2 cups behind because one was plastic and one was ceramic, and it looked like somebody might be coming back for them. Like, it looked like they honestly forgot them because they were reusable cups. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave these here in case somebody genuinely forgot to take them, because they were on like a cafe table in front of one of the businesses down there, and I'm like, somebody might come back looking for these, because these weren't disposable, or at least they didn't look like they were meant to be disposable, so I didn't want to throw away somebody's shit that might actually come back for it. But holy hell, fucking infuriating. So it's a little uneven, but that's okay. Alright. So there's our body. Up here's going to be like the shoulders. Back here's going to be our back legs. So now we have to figure out our back legs. Right? We have to figure out how tall we want them to be, number one. And their thickness, because we kind of need them to match. So that's definitely too long. See if I can shorten this guy up a little bit. The good thing about this stuff is that it clings to itself pretty good. Close. Alright, so obviously we need some thicker legs here. Alright. Just so mad that people can't clean up after themselves, and I wasn't even at the fucking parade, and I'm going behind people cleaning up after them. Alright. Let's see if we can start to Like, I don't want squared off legs. I do want them kind of rounded. We'll see. Oh, ah! Alright. I guess that piece did not want to go along for the ride. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of give this a light once over just to see how we go here. Oh, the husband ordered a new keyboard for Christmas. He says it might not be as loud and clacky as the one he's got currently. We'll see, because it's still a mechanical. I think it's going to be just as loud and clacky. Yeah, Stream Elements still hasn't joined us. What the heck, Stream Elements? Stream Elements is just on vacation, I guess. That's okay, I guess. We didn't really get it for its chatbotting capabilities. We really only have it for the overlays and stuff. Alright, those are kind of... I mean, those aren't really thick enough yet, but... I mean... It feels kind of ridiculous being that tall. But maybe it should be that tall. Well, we can always shorten it if we need to. They're not thick enough yet. So I gotta support the weight of the Chungi. For sure. Alright. Okay, so we need a bit more floof. We've got a bunch more fluff, so don't worry about that. All right. Have to be careful going in from that end. So this might take some layers. To get our thickness right here. I'm gonna keep turning it so we don't flatten out any one side here. And I want to make sure that this is kind of solid, right? Because it's going to be holding up our critter here, so... Now, I might have to shove a piece of wire at least up into the leg when I'm done. Maybe for stability. We'll see. I'm going to try to make this sturdy enough or compacted enough where it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Hopefully. But it is going to take some fiddling. I'm just hoping that we can get this guy secure enough. Because I haven't decided on height yet. I mean, do we want him to be a low rider? Or do we want it to have a little bit of height on it? What? I should have grabbed another or a set of hand cards. I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, yarn sale. But if I can at least get one more of the same pet brush, I might be able to make do. So this end's definitely not as tight. So maybe this end is our attachment point. So how about we start flattening out that. So that might work. That might be a decent length there. All right. Still not quite solid enough, so it's going to need a little bit more layers on that, but at least we kind of have a shape starting on our back legs. So at least we don't look like quite such a fluff torpedo here. Remember to be mindful of where your fingers are when you're working on your creatures, because there might be thin spots, so be mindful of the force that you are using and the speed you are going at. So I haven't decided if we're giving Chungasaurus here wiggle eyes or not.
Of course you are.
Or do you want button eyes?
What kind of question is that? Do I want dead, dreary, doll-like button eyes? Or do I want lively, happy wiggle eyes? That's not a choice.
Well, I don't know. You didn't seem that enthused that I was making this, so... I wasn't sure how much you really gave a shit. Alright, so this all tucked into there. Alright, so where does our flatten out have to start? Maybe about here? This side got a little, or this limb got a little more evenly wrapped, I think, than the other one did. So just want to make sure that we're sort of trying to keep the same shape here. So, you know, he has a chance of standing up. Symmetry is not my strong point. Like, once in a while, I feel like I can pull something off, but I, like, definitely need those, like, it wouldn't be amiss to have, oh, there was this thing that was always in these magazines when, I was growing up, where, it would be like a piece of blue plastic that, it kind of looked like almost like a bookshelf divider, and you would have your image on one side and then a piece of paper on the other, and then you could, like, it would, like, reflective reverse the image. I almost need one of those with how terrible my symmetry is and getting stuff drawn out and matching. And okay, those are about the same length, so excuse me. Okay. So don't really need to fill out the top bit too much anymore, because that's going to be our connector point. It's a little long there. Okay, so now we need another bit here. If I could try to get it kind of close. Okay. So let's start up in here. And I don't know, maybe we need to add a little bit more to our connector point, but I figure we can do that when we go to actually connect it. see how this turns out. Really nervous about these legs. Like, the tail will be fine. The head will probably be fine. I might have to figure out how we're gonna stabilize the neck weight-wise so he doesn't topple. Oh gosh, we might have to add a third set of legs, excuse me. Well, if we have to add a third set of legs for stability, we will. Well, not a huge deal. Alright, so do need to keep making sure that we're turning this guy so we don't flatten him out too much. I just kind of want to tighten up that just a little bit. Oh, careful, careful. Alright, so we're getting a little bit more solid here. Not as much as I would like, but it's probably going to take a few passes here to get the roundness right. Hopefully we don't have to do it in small rings. We might need to, though. It might be easier. We'll see. I mean, we can always shape it with some scissors if we need to. But let's see. Oh, careful. See, that time it kind of glanced off of it. I'm also trying not to go as forceful because I know this section isn't very thick. Gosh, it feels so dark in our room. I don't know why. Maybe because my ring light is so bright. Like everything beyond this ring light feels dark. Alright, we're getting there. Definitely firming up in spots. Question is it gonna firm up enough? Ah, that one went through. Okay. That one did a tiny little prick. Alright, so yeah, this bottom of this leg is pretty wide here. So we might have to get the one set of snips out, or scissors or something. And we might have to do some shaping, if it comes to it, if I can't get these guys even on their own. And it got cold last night. Our grass was all frosty when Momo dragged me outside at like 6 this morning. So, do you think that he's afraid of those pads like Zuzu is?
That I do not know.
Because they're being weird about those new pads.
We're still using them.
Like, I don't know why he was being so weird this morning. He's like, no, I want to go outside to pee. I don't want to pee on the pads. He did pee when I took him out. Peed a fairly good amount, too. But I will say I noticed before he started getting grumbly that he was getting up and down repeatedly a lot. And I don't like 2 or 3 times over the course of 45 minutes to go potty. So I don't know if he's got a bladder issue. I mean, he seems to be peeing okay. We haven't noticed any discoloration. Unless old man bladder's just getting old man bladdery. Don't really know what the deal is with that. He wasn't in his water bowl that much. Kofi Bot's late. Did they change the timing on Kofi Bot? So one day it was going like every half an hour. All of the bots are rebelling. Seems like. Alright, so yeah, we're getting that firmed up pretty good. I think it needs to be a little bit thicker. So, don't know if we'll get these 2 limbs done today, or at least during this stream. I don't know if we're doing game night with my mom tonight. That kind of depends on Russell. And how things are looking after dinner, I suppose. So this section's pretty fluffy, so it's going to take a little extra attention here. Try to get this all compacted in here. I have to remember where our bottom of our foot is. See, we're getting there. We've got that compacted pretty good so far. And it's kind of a cylindrical shape. Probably gonna need our other foot here. Just to kind of keep an eye on our length. Although I suppose if it comes to it, we could potentially grab some water bottle caps and a piece of felt that we want the foot color to be, like the bottom of the foot, and we could like put that over it to help stabilize it, but I don't know. I don't quite think we're gonna need to go that far. Oh my goodness. All right. So let's see here. Our foot is kind of squishy, so bottom of our foot is definitely squishy. Alright, so I guess this foot is going to be the benchmark for our other back foot. Right, maybe one more wrap on that. Okay. Did I just hear a car door? I don't know if I did or not.
That I do not know. Possible.
Okay, so kind of want our attachment tab to be up here. Did I?
We expect delivery.
Oh, okay. We had to get more cooking gloves. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. KofiBot wasn't. Maybe KofiBot does every hour. I thought it was doing every half hour. No, that's a half an hour. I don't know. I think I just confused myself. Not that that's that difficult to do. So I don't want to like completely make our attachment point go away. But I definitely need to tighten it up just a little bit. Kind of give it more of that like hip bone feeling. So what we're probably gonna do is add one more layer of fluff at least, but we're gonna do it a little bit more controlled. And in smaller bits here. On the next pass through, because I think that'll help us get everybody caught up, or at least these two caught up. Shape and density wise. So I'm sorry we're still working on Christmas gifts and we haven't gotten back to our Bob Ross stuff. I haven't chickened out on you. We are gonna attempt it. We need to do our base sketch of that cowboy guy. But holiday season is tough when we're doing handmade gifts. We are still working on that other speed felt. Husband's been distracted. He's still working on his editing pass of it, so I haven't gotten it yet, but honestly, I haven't had time to do my pass on it just yet anyhow. Like I said, I still have to finish my Christmas ornaments for my tree.
My hopefully less classic keyboard also showed up.
Well, you're not allowed to have it yet.
No, I'm gonna go drop it off. I know.
Yeah. It's not bullshit. It's a Christmas gift. You just happen to pick it out and you know what it is ahead of time. Alright. So the aunt's dog was in the backyard on its lead again earlier, still barking its head off. And the mother-in-law is like, we're trying, and we're like, no you're not, where's the whistle? We gave you the dog whistle to blow to get the dog's attention whenever it starts barking like that. Barking excessively or barking means the weird noise, so then reward her when she stops. It's not that difficult. It's on a lanyard, for fuck's sake. The one vet thought the dog might have been close to 2 years old. The vet wasn't sure if the dog had been fixed, so I guess they couldn't see a scar from it being fixed. I highly doubt it is fixed with how high strung it is, to be perfectly honest. And given the area where it was supposedly, allegedly dumped, wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't. But I will say, one of the animals I think it was Mai. They weren't sure if she was fixed, and they started to shave her stomach to do it, and then they saw the scar, and they're like, oh, she's already fixed. We don't have to do it. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. But this dog's very short-coated, so I feel like if she had been, it would have been obvious. And the vet's like, yeah, we think she's about 2 years old. And then the mother-in-law's like, we don't think she's that old. And I'm like, are you a vet? You went to vet medical school? Really? Because she certainly behaves like a end-of-puppy young adult dog. With the attitude. They can be sassy and be an adult. She doesn't look like no puppy, tell you that much. The rescues are always gonna lowball the age on them. Because so many people don't like to get the older dogs. Everybody wants a puppy. We will see. I just hope we get an answer before they take off. Although the way the aunt was talking, it sounded like they were gonna head out come January, and I'm like, as infuriating as it is having you guys here, you might need to wait a little bit longer. See if we get an answer here, because if you guys already get on the road, you're gonna be weird about coming back. Even though we told the mother-in-law that was part of the deal, she was gonna have to come back if we had to go do something that involved needing pet sitters. because our neighbor certainly can't do it. She's got enough bullshit of her own to deal with. Oh yes, the dog is still outside. I just heard it bark again. Question is she outside alone? That we don't know. Although I will say the outdoor cat is really not a fan of this new dog either. So he hasn't been around as much. Unless he found someplace a bit warmer to go hold up. Or hole up, really. No idea. Okay, so this one feels a little bit thicker. Doesn't have to be 100% perfect, but I would like it to be a little bit close. So hopefully we can get that to happen here. What in the fuck is that dog barking at? There shouldn't be any reason for it to be barking like that out there. Alright, so it takes a few minutes working our way around, but it is helping us maintain some sort of roundness here. So, I know it felt like we weren't making all that much progress down the leg on the other one, and then all of a sudden we were. So it's kind of easy to do the round stuff and accidentally flatten them, because as you're going through, like, all of the fibers on the inside are all pulling together. So just kind of have to keep turning as we go here. Where's the bottom of our foot? Okay. Bottom of our foot is about there. Alright. So I've got the other guy there for reference and comparison, to make sure we don't get too carried away. And get that other finger out of there, because I felt like we were getting a little too cozy there, since nothing had happened recently. All right. I am hitting the pad because I can feel some of this pulling when we go to rotate it. And that's okay. I mean, that's kind of what the pad is there for, so the needle has something to hit that's not going to break it, and allow it to go through all of the fluff it needs to go through. We're getting there. Franken legs. Oh yeah, this leg's definitely a thicker boy. Alright. So we might start off with adding the rings to this one to at least get it a little bit closer to the size it needs to be, thickness wise. This one's, I mean, they're soliding up pretty good. Stiffening up. Which is what we wanted, so yay. I'm just trying to find the end of my foot here. Should be about in here somewhere. Uh-oh. I hear Momo feet. I thought I heard Momo feet. Is it Zuzu feet? I hear some kind of doggo feet tapping. No, not Momo.
Well, they've already come and gone, so.
Might have been Zuzu. Has Momo moved at all since he fell asleep earlier?
Yeah, he's rotated.
Okay. Alright, so we almost have 2 usable limbs. I know what they might look like, so get your minds out of the gutter. They're legs. Alright. So we're getting it into shape here. That section was a little more flared out than I necessarily wanted it to be. Sorry about the traffic. A lot of traffic today for a Sunday. Kind of incredible. Especially considering when it gets to be a certain time at night, usually it's like traffic just stops. You might see like one car every half hour or so. So this guy's a little bit more flared for some reason. I'm not quite sure how we managed to do that. We're going to need to do a couple more rotations here. Making sure everybody's tucked in here.
Zuzu, come here. Hi, buddy. Hi, do you have to go potty? Hi. Hi, my bud. Come here. Oh, come
Hi,
here.
Zuzu.
It's Daddy.
Hi, Zuzu.
Oh, we're
my
so
goodness.
happy.
Oh, happy tails everywhere.
Oh my
And happy
goodness.
tails come with happy peepers. Yay!
Sorry, didn't know he was going to bark.
Hi, happy peepers.
Oh, you are stonky. You are a stonky donkey. Oh, goody. Outside doggy's barking away. Sorry about him barking for my earbud friends. Did not know he was gonna do that. He doesn't always. Although between him and Momo, he is the more barky one. Your foot feels not quite even. Oh, and now he's barking at the dog out back. Or that is the dog out back. It sounded like a different tone. Maybe that's the neighbor's dog. All the dogs are barking now. Good. Okay. I'm not so worried about the top pieces not being quite the same size because that'll get dealt with as we go. Alright. Oh no, that's her dog. Okay. Alright. So let's get a fluff snake here. Kind of put together. Just to make this a little bit easier. A little uneven here. Okay, so I'm gonna tack you in here to start with. Okay, so we're just kind of trying to bulk out our leg just a little bit here. So we're just kind of wrapping around our bone, I guess. For lack of a better descriptor. Were they even trying to get that dog to stop barking?
They're not out there with her.
What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, you think you would at least go and check to see what the dog's barking at.
Yeah, except she barks so often it doesn't matter. Real effective guard dog for that.
Yes, let's get a barky, chompy dog breed. So, a lot of campgrounds don't allow certain dog breeds in the campground. And I really hope they thought about that before they got this dog.
Thought about what?
Some campgrounds don't allow certain dog breeds.
Well, I guess that's their problem.
One of them being a P and ending in a bull, and because of their reputations, and I don't know if that's one of them.
Guess they'll find out the fun way. Like I said, that's their problem. Should have thought before they bought.
Like, I don't know the full list of dog breeds that some campgrounds might be like, no, not that. Because even the pet-friendly ones are going to have restrictions on certain breeds, usually. Some do. And the aunt got a Doberman. And this dog is not trained. We haven't seen them working with her at all. All they do is work their mouths yelling at her. Try to get her to stop barking. And that's only sometimes. And apparently there's so little room in the camper that when they're making food, because they already have a Rottweiler in there, that's half blind, half deaf, and it's like 15 years old, so she doesn't move too fast. But apparently they keep putting her outside on the lead whenever they're cooking food, and I'm like, y'all should have thought about this better before you bought this dog. You knew you were in a camper. Well, not bought, but adopted, I guess. Alright, so that's kind of bringing that up to the same size as the other one now. Okay. I mean, it hasn't bulked it out too much more yet. So we might have to do this a couple of times. Until we are at our desired thickness. Okay. honestly, I can't see campgrounds letting them stay that long with that dog barking like that, even if they are pet friendly. Because, I mean, pet friendly hotels still have rules, and if people start complaining about dog barking, or if your dog starts to bark excessively, you have to come back within X amount of minutes. To deal with your doggo, and they could potentially ask you to leave. So you would think they would be a little bit more diligent. About getting that dog trained. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just trying to make sure that we are attached. Alright, so that's kind of... yeah. This might need another wrap on it, just to bring it up to this one. Potentially. Potentially. So how's everybody's weekend going? Been doing okay? Alright, let me tack that in right there. Now our leg circumference will probably get a little bit thicker when we start adding our fluff on. And honestly, should we add the fluff to our legs before we attach, so we don't have any weird, awkward angles, maybe? We might want to do that. Then again, I don't know if it's gonna hold them. I almost wonder if a doll joint would have been beneficial here, but I don't know. I mean, potentially, maybe. I mean, if we wrap the legs, we're going to be fighting with them, trying to get our hand in there. Like we did with Reggie, but at the same time, I need to make sure that these guys are sturdy enough that they're going to hold him up.
Sorry, I'm now imagining me receiving Chungasaurus laying down.
No. No. We would need to do different kind of legs for that.
Yes, my point being is that I'm imagining you having to improvise. See, he's laying down with his legs forward, because he's laying down, you know.
I mean, that might be pretty good. This other leg needs to be a little bit thicker. But, it's a good height. For sure. But yeah, this one leg's not quite as thick. This one's actually a little bit squishier. This one's a little more solid. I guess they can be slightly different widths in the end, as long as they hold them up. Gives him character. Now I can't get that idea out of my head, so I might have to go look up some Mary Blair art. Kind of get a look for, a feel for the style of it. See if maybe we could pull off our own thing. I wonder how the five-legged goat even came about. Did she just do that to see if anybody would notice? Or was it a mistake? That they played up to be like, oh yeah, no, we did that on purpose. But I would think after doing all that art on Small World, you wouldn't have made a mistake like that, so... have to take a look. Oh, what did we do on stream today? We made 2 legs. We made the foundation of 2 legs. We made the bones of 2 legs. But I think it'll speed up quite a bit once we start adding the color, because his shape will pretty much be done. So I think this is really where the most of our time is going to go, because we're still trying to bring this guy to life, or at least his skeleton to life. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure this is A, attached, and B, tightened up so I don't have any major surprises. And we start adding our color in. I will say that is making a very solid leg now. Wow. All right. Okay, I don't think we'll have to do the wire after all. It was on purpose because of Native American traditions about perfection or lack thereof. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like look up the art style of Small World because I don't remember what it looks like. Like, I know like all the Disney vloggers that I watch, they're always in the contemporary showing the 5-legged goat mural, but I want to kind of get a look to see what her other stuff looks like, just to kind of see if I can maybe do something similar. Maybe we could start a 3-legged flamingo trend. Hide a 3-legged flamingo. That's okay, I had an idea when I was getting ready to go live. I was like, you know what? We keep doing a lot of the follow along with Bob Ross stuff. I was like, we should start adding a flamingo into all of the ones that we do. Somewhere. Like snowy mountain ones, maybe make a backpacking flamingo. Maybe give him some little snowshoes. Absolutely ridiculousness, because you would never find a flamingo there, but you know. I was actually thinking maybe we could silhouette a flamingo in at the campfire with Bob's cowboy. Or we leave the cowboy out and just do flamingos around the campfire. But it wouldn't be the iconic following along with the cowboy one without the cowboy, right? So I don't know. It was just an idea I was toying around with in my brain. I haven't fully decided on that yet. I gotta think about it some more. Like, wouldn't necessarily have to look like a realistic flamingo, just like a plastic long one would suffice. Because that would be a little bit simpler to do. Alright, Chungasaurus. You've almost got 2 legs to hold you up. He's got legs, Lieutenant Dan. Oh, this section's a little bit thicker. So this part of our leg might be a little bit misshapen. So might have to add some more fluff in here. In some spots, just to even them out a little bit. It's that, or we trim it. I think we might be able to work it in though. I think we can work it in. So we're gonna have another piece coming in here. Sorry, this section's still kind of fuzzy. Like loose fuzzy. Like I know the whole thing's gonna be fuzzy, but it has a different texture to it when it's not fully. Oh, wow. Holy shit. I don't know if the microphone picked that donking up. This guy's fucking solid. That's polyfill, my friends. Whoever thought polyfill could get that hard? Alright, so we need another bit of fluff here. Might be a little thick for the space that we've got remaining. Alright, let's... I do say sometimes I get hung up on stuff looking 100% symmetrical and perfect, and I'm like, it's a handmade gift. The whole point of handmade gifts was so that they had a little bit of charm, and like some of the charm of the handmade gifts is that they're not perfect. So I have to keep reminding myself of that at times. Because I do get caught up in trying to make sure every fiber or every brush stroke is where it needs to be. So how's Boz doing? You doing alright? Holiday shopping season not being too terrible on you, I hope. Or are the shopping public just as delightful as they are in years previous? Are they even there?
Pretty sure I saw the car.
Okay. It's been a weird fourth quarter. It doesn't feel as crazy as normal. Probably because nobody has any money.
You beat me to it, dude. I was going to say, you know what holiday celebration requires? Money.
Like I kept telling my mom, I'm like, I'd rather have groceries. Can we just buy groceries? I would love to get a bag of cat food so we have an extra bag that we don't have to worry about getting. She's like, you're not buying a bag of cat food for Christmas. I'm like, yeah, but now I don't have to.
Practical answer.
But I don't have to worry about it. It's one less thing to fret over.
I am lighting an incense real quick. Dude.
Yeah, I heard you light the match. Super busy for the order pickup and shipping orders, though. Maybe people are just shopping from home. So part of my yarn order from Joann's says it's ready for shipping. And Joann's, I think, is kind of like Amazon, where they don't fully, like, they put the initial hold on and then they don't fully charge your card until, I guess, it's about to...
Did you warn your mom about that?
No, I forgot to.
Well, shit.
What?
I'll have to make sure to warn her.
She's gonna see 2 charges on there from Joann's.
Yeah, but I'm more worried because she does her math on paper ahead of time.
Well, it's still gonna be the same amount, But
yeah, but if she thinks it's out, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know if she's up from her nap yet. She might be since Zuzu came in. So, the coupon code that I had apparently didn't include the yarn because the yarn was already on a doorbuster, and I didn't understand that with the way the coupon was worded at first, but I was also supposed to get $3.99 shipping. I was like, okay, cool. Well, they split the order into at least 2. And I'm sitting there, and they're doing the breakdown of what shipped and the dollar amount of what shipped, the sales tax on it. Which I kind of miss being in New Jersey because I don't think you paid sales tax on yarn in New Jersey. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I think it was considered clothing. So there might not have been tax on it. I can't remember for sure, but I think at one point it wasn't taxed. It's been so long since we've been back there. And then I saw the shipping. And it said $2 and change. And I was like, huh. That's interesting. I sure as hope fuck when they put the other part of the order to get picked up, to get shipped, that they better charge me the remainder amount of that $3.99, because I was already a little bit leery of ordering from them again, because their tracking has always been so bizarre. And twice now I've ordered from them and not had the greatest experience. The only reason I caved and did it a third time was because the price of the yarn was cheaper for the larger skeins than Lovecraft's website for the paint box yarn. That was full price right now, and that was $4.99 a ball because they raised the price on it. And the big value stuff from Joann's, or the big twist value stuff, was on sale for, it was originally $4.99, but it was on sale for $2 something. So I was like, guess we can give it a try. Alright, so this guy's a little bit longer now. It's more of a tabby issue here, so we're gonna see, because the email I got when we originally, first of all, their website was super slow. You cannot go fast on their website. If you go too fast trying to place your order, it thinks you're a bot and starts flipping the fuck out, number one. And it's like, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that, and Russell had an ad blocker and it didn't like that, and because I was doing it on his computer, because I'm like, oh, well, let me have you do it because I might fuck something up.
I'm not even sure it was the ad blocker, dear.
And just the website, like, slow to a crawl, and I'm like, really? Why? And because I didn't want to type in the bank card number wrong or anything, so I'm like, here, you just do it. And then we ended up having to sign in on his computer on my Joann's account to get the website to unstick where it was stuck. And okay, that's still a little bit taller. And then when they sent me, and like in the process of it thinking we were a bot and having to do the stuff to prove we were not a bot, it somehow added multiple quantities of the colors. And I'm like, no, that's not right. So he had to like edit the shopping cart before we put the order through. But the email I got when I got the first email about thanking me for my order, it had all the multi-quantities on there, but the dollar amount was the right dollar amount. And I'm like, what? I'm like, we edited this, though. That's not... So I was a little nervous about that to begin with. Alright, those aren't bad. Do we think these are sturdy enough? I'm still not sure if I should add these before I put the color on them. I kind of want to.
On the plus side, less color needed. On the downside, more difficult time stabbing it later.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know if I'm gonna need to make these legs any more sturdy. Okay, you know what? Let's use one of these. Oh, there goes my Blistex. These are one of the ornament hangers. Okay, so... Is that about... Kinda looks even. The little hangy-doos for my flamingo ornaments. Alright, let's see. Okay, so... Alright, I'm probably gonna have to do it this way. And see how we do here. I'm gonna have to make some adjustments on the body. Around where our leggy is protruding. So this is going to take a little bit of fussing, as always. Try to make sure we are in fact attached solidly enough. Oh goodness, okay. So we're gonna be a little bow-legged. Nothing wrong with that. It is giving turtle vibes, which is kind of what I was going for. Turtlesaurus. Kinda, sorta. Not exactly. Okay, that's a little weak in there. Now the fluff might tighten that up a bit. Potentially. Alright. Hopefully, these legs are still the same size when we're done. I hope so. Well, yeah, I mean, the one leg's not gonna be super sturdy here. Okay, let's see about attaching you. Or trying to attach you at least. Sorry for my hands being in the way, but I'm trying to make sure that we are attached here. As best as we can hope for. Momo, okay?
It's not moving. I mean, other than breathing, obviously.
He didn't get up once during the stream.
Was he so busy keeping me up all last night that he finally got to sleep today?
I don't know. Alright, let's see. It's gonna be off balance because it's only got 2 limbs on it. Still kind of wobbly. I mean, I might have a better idea when we get the other 2 legs on. Potentially. Alright, so I kind of want to attempt to attach you down a little bit further. That's pretty sturdy on that one. Alright, this guy's not being as cooperative. So the front legs are probably going to need to be a little bit longer, maybe. Or well, that's starting to tighten up there a bit more. Or we can add a bit of fluff here. Oh, maybe that was an illusion of tightening up. Because I need it to support its own weight. Guess we'll know more when we get the other two legs on. Now I do need to grab a little bit more fluff here. Now we could add an extra bit of fluff around the leg to attach it a little bit better. Just to give it maybe a little bit more of a better attachment point. Kind of, sort of, maybe, because I was gonna kind of do a ridge line here anyway, right? Because we're gonna, his back is gonna look like a turtle shell, or his body. That's kind of what I was going for. So if we kind of get this worked in around here. Which incense did you light, husband? Which incense did you light?
Stick.
Okay. Wait, my stick or your stick?
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
It smelled like mine. No, I guess I smell it. You didn't light it very long, did you?
It's still running.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's an older one. And it's burning slowly.
Alright. So we are making progress on this guy. It's not incredibly fast progress, but it is still progress. We have 2 leggies now. I doubt I'm gonna have time to do the other 2 legs tonight. It kind of depends on a few things. Usually about the time I sit down to start getting stuff done is about the time that Mosasaur decides I'm not allowed to do stuff. Alright. So we'll see. Sorry for my arm being in the way. I'm just a little disorganized here lately, this past week. I need to try to schedule the backlog of stuff that I have that needs to go up on YouTube. Uh-oh. Hang on, guys, 1 second, I need to mute.
Hey Nancy, what's up? her daughter took the garbage out, as in, like, out of the house, but she didn't put it up front.
Oh, so one of those things where it wasn't specified to the curb, not
Yeah,
just
possibly.
out of the house. Okay. Alright. So just
Can't
wanna
wait to
get...
not have a heart attack every time that phone goes off.
I know, right? Well, we wouldn't be hearing anything on a Sunday anyway, but we get so few phone calls on his cell phone. Okay. And this kind of tagged into here. And you know, we might make some slight adjustments once we start getting our color on. That still feels kind of weak sauce there. Just want to make sure our legs are sturdy. Let's see if we can try to tighten this up a little bit. Can you like check on Momo for me? I'm kind of concerned he didn't get up at all.
Well, he's not feeling it. Also, I'm leery about nudging him and waking him up. Looks like he's sleeping Monday.
Well, he definitely ate dinner last night. Alright. So make sure that we've attached this properly. Yeah, because that section of the leg's pretty soft. So that's not a good thing. I still feel a little like it kind of feels a little bit loose. Like not as tight or stiff as it could. Considering where this is connecting to. And this guy is not exactly a lightweight either. I mean, that might work. Sorry, this section here looked a little dishevelly. What time is it? Alright. Get just another little bit of... See how this side's got a little more rounded and this side seems a little flat. Let's see what we can do about that. If anything, that might be something I have to fix with the color. Or we might just have to put our patient pants on. Just try to fix it now. Alright, well, I mean, we can get in here. It's not as tight as when we were working on Reggie. Reggie, we didn't have hardly any room, so we should be able to get our color in place. It'll be just a little sticky getting in there and stuff, but I don't think it'll be as bad as Reggie was, because Reggie's legs were pretty, I mean, they were a little bit wider, but not all the way up. Reggie's thighs were kind of close together, so that made things a little bit trickier getting in there, plus the armature wire. That feels a little bit better connected. Alright, so this side we'll have to kind of give the same sort of rounding treatment on. And that we'll do tomorrow. So we're gonna have the tail come off back this way. And we need to make our front legs, and then we'll put them on there. And first we'll see if we can get this guy to stand with his forelegs attached. That'll be a challenge. And I think our front legs, I think I want this to be a little bit thicker in here. It's not quite as thick as this side is, so maybe just a little bit more. You can do another piece slapped on between the lower and the upper. And then this side I need to give the same sort of like ridgy hip bone treatment. And then I think I might want the front legs to be a little bit thicker, because it's going to have to support the head. It's a little bit thicker than these guys. Minimum this thickness, if not more. So that's going to be the plan for tomorrow, to at least start working on those legs. And even if it's a little bit higher, that's okay. That can be a little bit higher. But we will see. We've got 2 limbs. So we're making some sort of progress. So we're going to pause there today. Hopefully tomorrow we can start a little bit sooner. I can't promise though. I'm gonna try. Depends on what time I'm able to get up and get going. So thank you guys for hanging out with me this afternoon. We're getting there slowly. We have 2 feet. Don't forget to follow the socially links down below. It'll take you to the Kofi, the YouTube, the Twitter, and the Instagram. And yeah, so I will see you all tomorrow to continue working on this guy. Stay safe. Pick up your trash. If you go somewhere, don't just leave it. And I will see you tomorrow.